Hello, assalamu alaikum. My name is Usman Akram. I'm here back in a lovely studio at ICE Campus, International Center of Excellence. And I'm very excited to have my colleague Maria from NCUK. She's here in Pakistan and she's been visiting today. So we'll talk about what Maria's been up to in her life and how she progressed in her career and what advice you have for our students and what does NCUK do in Pakistan, and more importantly, how exciting the visit was at International Center of Excellence. So over to you, Maria. I mean, if you could please let our student and audience know that how was your young life and how did you start your career, and then how did you become a global director for NCUK? I'm sure it's not a easy ride, but I'm sure it's an exciting journey you have been through. So please, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Usman. Hi, everyone. As Usman has said, my name is Maria McKenna, and I'm the Business Development Director for NCUK. I'm delighted to be in Karachi for the very first time and visiting a wonderful centre, a new partner that we have here in Karachi, which is ICE Centre of Excellence. So questions, right, okay, career-wise. So growing up as a child, I was born to an Italian family in the UK and spent my very young life exposed to different cultures and a lot of travel, a lot of time in Italy, a lot of time in the UK. But fortunate enough to live in the UK where we have many different nationalities among our everyday life, and that for me I think was the start of my journey to where I am now. I love being around people of different nationalities, different cultures, because what you gain from that is such a diverse group of opinions which really help form who you are, who you become, and really help to provoke your own thoughts as well. So growing up, did I think I wanted to be part of what is now a very big industry, which is international education? No idea. I did have a love of languages, and I studied languages, both French, Italian, and a little bit of Russian, along with business. And from that, I moved into the English language industry in my early career, working for a large group of English language schools as their marketing executive. So that was my very first job, learning about the industry and starting to reach out to different European countries to get students to come to England to learn English,
Nice.
which was very exciting. And from there, I then sort of moved into other English language schools, full-time English language schools, summer programs for international students learning English. I moved to Australia and New Zealand, working for a group of English language schools, and spent 2 years there. So hence my introduction earlier to the young people here at ICE. Australia and New Zealand are also excellent locations and destinations for further study. After that, I then moved to what we call pathway programs, which is what NCUK is. And that is the opportunity for young people to start their education in their home country and then follow a pathway to enable them to help them on their journey for international education. I moved to Malaysia and spent some time in Malaysia, around 5 years there, before eventually going back to my hometown in Manchester.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's very
And
exciting journey. Wow. So 2 years in New Zealand, 2 years in Australia, 5 years in Malaysia, and most of the time you worked in the education industry.
All of the time. I haven't worked in any other industry. I've worked in different parts of the education industry, but all of the time within education, always working with smart, bright young people.
Right, okay. Maria, very exciting introduction. Most of Pakistani successful careers or man and woman you discuss, most of them would have exactly same story or similar story as what you had. So my mother wanted me to be a doctor. And you can clearly see I could not pronounce the biology big words. The words started dancing in front of me. She really worked hard. I got beaten by quite a few times, but clearly it was not in me. But then from biology, I went into accountancy, completely opposite.
Yeah.
Right? So numbers and looking into human's body inside, it didn't make sense to me. But then I studied accounting and finance. And after studying accounting and finance, I was doing accounts. I was like, that's boring things to do. I should be in business development because I love meeting people and talking. But the journey took me from where I started biology, then accountancy, then becoming a business development guy myself. So what do you advise students? Is it okay to naturally study what they love, or they should focus on something which is more relevant to the industry? This is because everybody, this AI thing, a lot of jobs going to go away.
Yeah.
There are a lot of subjects going to go absolute from the market.
Yeah.
So what is your experience with across the globe of working over 2 decades with different institutions and universities? What's your advice to the students? Whether how should they follow the passion and then let the natural career flow come in, or it should be very focused? I want to get to that stage. I should study this and do that.
Yeah, it's a really good question, and a question that I have recently been through with my own daughter, who's 16, just embarking on her A-levels to inform her career, her university career. And I think the answer is it depends, because there are always young people who have a very determined idea of what they want to do, and that idea might come from their parents, it might come from themselves. And if somebody, does have an ambition to become a doctor or an accountant, then absolutely follow that path, because that is, even if you don't end up there, if that's what you feel that you want to do, then you should embark on that journey. For other young people who perhaps haven't decided thoroughly and fully what they want to do, then do something you love, because that's where you're going to get the most out of your experience. If you're going to study a subject area which, it isn't something that you have a passion for, then it's difficult to excel in that area, I would say. There are always subject areas, some, basic subjects which everybody has to do. You need to have good basic math skills, English skills, or language skills, and those are a must, no matter what, But I would say, for those who are a little bit undecided, you go with what you enjoy and what you're good at, because that's where you're going to get the best results.
Yeah, and nowadays, probably when you were in university, I were in university, we didn't have this digital world back then. The information wasn't available. Nowadays
very
rigid. Sit down with the headmasters, and at times if the headmaster doesn't like you, you're not getting anywhere. So I think the world has changed, and especially this digital world, which has given a lot of access to the information to the students. So they can perhaps listen to a podcast from different career advisors and hear the different career people passionate, like you studied language, have a chat with you what it's like to study languages, and what career they can embark on in the language career and stuff.
Yeah, and that's it. There are so many careers out there, and as you say, with the advancements in technology and the changes, in the next 10 years, things will be very, very different. Yeah. So having a fixed and set sort of idea of what you want to do is still, I feel, the best way, because it gives you some focus. But everybody is going to have some flexibility, and opportunities come your way. Take them, investigate them, have a look at them, just be curious.
Yeah. I think one of the question I come across from students here, or I like to motivate students, as you said, the 10 years down the line, the world will even further change, and those changes are becoming very challenges. The challenges you faced in your young life, is completely different to your daughter's challenges.
Yes. Yeah.
Therefore, I think it's very much a need of students to understand that yes, they should explore their options. They should go out and find help and speak to friends and career advisors and or your teachers, and put questions around those experts, and then perhaps make your own plan. But more importantly, student needs to work hard. What I faced talking to different young people, they don't see that big massive change out there which is coming at time. Makes me some. So in my own family we have lots of kids, very bright kids, but their focus is not what the 10 years down the line would. So how would you face that with your daughter, for example? So if they don't study hard, I don't think they would be able to survive in 10 years down the line, because it's very competitive worlds coming up.
Yeah, and that's it. It's truly competitive. Even now, now it's competitive. And, like we say, we don't know what's coming down the line in 10 years. There are experts that have some ideas. So there is information available to young people to start thinking about the future. But I agree with you that I think, one of the key skills to have and the key disciplines to have as a young person and as an individual, as myself, is, work hard.
Yeah.
Be whatever you choose to do it well.
Yeah.
Be driven, be dedicated, be passionate about it, give it everything you have. Because, what's the point of doing something if you're not fully committed to it?
Yeah.
And you have to work harder, and young people will have to work harder because the world is more competitive. We've got opportunities for young people in every country around the world now.
Yeah.
There are no exclusions anymore. So that talent is growing and growing and growing. It's not just certain countries which produce that talent. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
We've got great young people.
And because of globalization, where access to the talent is now remotely available.
Absolutely.
So learning those skills and not thinking that, someone, for example, in Pakistan, as a typical conversation would be, our politically, we're not settled yet. There's a new government in line, and let's go abroad, and the opportunities are not there. So little negativity out there in amongst the young people, but I think that's not the case. Even you are in third world country. If you do well, you study hard, you're able to you're able to be successful. It doesn't really matter.
Be
anymore.
Successful and implement change and development as well. So the ideology of educating our young generation is to make us better.
Yeah.
We always want the next generation to be better than who we are, than what we've achieved.
So one of the key advice if I understood right, for the young student is, yes, work hard and do it well, what you do, and be honest to yourself. But more importantly, continue your education, which is very, very important.
Yeah. Continue your education, work, do the best you be the best you can be. And education for different people is very different. And there are some young people who are hugely academic and achieving that area, others who are not as academic, but they have other skills that complement, those who are academic. We're not all the same.
Yeah. And it's okay to be different.
It's okay. Yes.
Yeah. It's so not everybody a doctor.
No.
I mean,
absolutely not.
So
we need doctors, and thankfully we've got them.
Yeah. So, one of the other, my advice to young A-level students who think of very clear ambitions of becoming a doctor, and they don't end up becoming doctors. So it's a very devastating position. So there's a lot of young students within Pakistan, again, like you said, the parent-driven careers. I think it's changing now in Pakistan, but it's still, there is this brand cautiousness from parent side comes in. My son and daughter goes to top institution and top schools and all of that. There is that pressure amongst the young people to deliver well, along with the attitude that they don't care. That's also there, but there is also a pressure from the parent side. So being a parent, do you think that pressure needs to be built amongst the young students?
I think, as we all parent in different ways, and families are very different in their approach to what they want the outcome of the children's career to be. But I feel giving guidance, recognizing recognising the ability of your son and daughter, recognising the passion, you know, the desires of what they want to continue to do, and helping them find that path rather than pushing them into a path that, you know, isn't necessarily for them. But that said, parents don't always agree.
Yeah.
And you've got to get that balance right, and it's hard. It's really difficult being a parent. You know. So with my daughter, as I've said, I've just advised her to do what she loves, what she enjoys doing, and do the best in those subject areas, and then we take it from there.
Yeah. You are the Global Business Development Director for NCUK.
I am.
I'm pretty sure it's a very intensive job.
Yep.
Which I think you love traveling.
Yes, I do.
How many countries you have?
Over 70.
70 countries. So can I
Yes.
ask you which one was your favorite country?
People ask me that all the time, and I simply don't have a favourite.
You want to be politically correct.
Yes.
I think you're sitting in Pakistan.
Yeah.
You can say Pakistan.
Okay, Pakistan.
So you've been to Pakistan before?
Yes, yeah. So I visited for the first time in 2017, I think, 16, 17.
Right.
But only visited Islamabad and Lahore. So this is my first time here in Karachi.
Right. Okay. And what's the few best part about Pakistan, or your experience in Pakistan and dealing with Pakistani people? A lot of your partner universities afraid of coming to Pakistan.
Okay.
I just want to hear from you and maybe give your friends and colleagues a message. It's not bombing everywhere. It's safe to be around. There are nice people to look after you, and more importantly, very talented student to take it to the countries. So if you can just tell me, how's your experience been? And
yeah, I mean, I enjoy coming to Pakistan. But I think people are apprehensive because it's unknown, and there's been a lot of, you know, in the past there are some negative things that happen, but that's the same in many different countries. I can't advise people to come or not to come, but as NCUK, we're happy to visit and ensure that we, you know, engage with our partners and engage with parents and young people here to really understand the market and to ensure that we're doing the right thing here and working with the right partners. My experience of Pakistan is very comfortable, actually. It's the people are very welcoming, very easy to work with, a lot of talking, which is nice. And it's, you know, it's easy to get around. As I say, I feel very comfortable here. So my experience on, you know, the occasions that I visited, very positive.
right.
And I'm glad that NCUK, you know, are building their partnerships here in Pakistan, and, you know, able to work with partners and able to engage with more students and parents.
So so NCUK, what does NCUK stands for?
Okay, so NCUK it's the Northern Consortium of UK Universities. NCUK is a pathway provider. Okay, so I think I've mentioned earlier, or I've mentioned to some young people earlier, what we do is offer students and young people the pathway, a pathway to their on their journey to education. So it's giving young people the opportunity and options and choices with their study. Okay. So the Northern Consortium was founded by a group of universities, and those universities were based in the north, hence the Northern Consortium name. But we've evolved over the years since having that group of universities form our company, our organisation. And we now have universities across the UK, as well as in Australia and New Zealand, and a handful in North America as well. We offer a set of qualifications which enables students to progress to university. So a student starts their journey in their home country, so they start to do their programme, which at ICE we have the introduction of the International Year 1 in Business and the International Year 1 in Law. And on successful completion of that programme, students then have the opportunity to progress, to have guaranteed progression to a number of university options. NCUK works with accredited partners all over the world. So we have just over 120 partners in 40 countries worldwide. And what we do is ensure that a student experience in all of those countries is the same, whether it's in Pakistan or China or Peru. And students are able to follow a qualification with an academic output, which is then guaranteed to get students the access to a university second year option, progressing from the international year one.
Right. So in Pakistan, as you know, it's a growing market for lots of international markets. So there are about 50,000 students who goes abroad from Pakistan. That's the top country would be UK, Australia, Canada, US, New Zealand, some of it, Malaysia, Dubai, the top 5-7 destinations, some now in Turkey and China as well. Very surprisingly, Russia for medical sciences.
Yes.
The students are going there to study. So it is a quite expensive process, right? So not every parents can afford to send their children into one of those big universities because purely this is very expensive. So as I understand it right, it does give an affordability factor to students, if you can highlight.
Yes, absolutely. So the pathway option and NCUK's option of studying in your home country gives you the opportunity to study a qualification with the same value as going to a university directly, but gives you the opportunity to start that journey in your home country, which makes it much more cost effective for your families to, for parents to fund that. So it's a fraction of the fee. So being able to study that here in Pakistan, so start your journey here, do 1 year, and then 2 years in the UK, means that 1 year saving is significant. It's depending on the university and the city that you go to in the UK, Australia, New Zealand. It could be a saving of up to sort of £30,000 for that year. So it's a real benefit in terms of cost saving. But also, it's a good option for young people to start thinking about really which university do you want to go to. You don't have to make that decision already when you start your first year. You can start the business qualification or the law qualification, and then you have a number of universities which you can consider, but not only consider, you can engage with, you can start to learn about, and then you make the decision which university is going to be best for you in terms of, your career aspirations, but also your personality, and is it a good fit for you? Will you enjoy it there? Does it have, the things in that city that you enjoy doing? Does it have the network that you want to engage with? So lots of choices, which is, what being a pathway provider is about.
Yeah. So it's basically the freedom for a student to select their destination of the final 2 years while they are studying Year 1 qualification at ICE.
Yeah, but also understanding that there's a guaranteed place at the end of that. As long as you pass the programme, there's a guaranteed option for you to go to a university, and that choice of universities is clearly communicated with you when you register for the programme. Yeah.
So a lot of parents in Pakistan also. So we have. I've managed to engage with 2 different sets of parents. So one is the elitist parents, the business community, who definitely affordability is not a factor for them. They send their children abroad and they never come back.
Okay.
And what happens? The big empire in Pakistan, the big business in Pakistan is left with no heirs, no succession.
Yeah.
So, and then these people are, and then there's opportunities for young people to become chief executives and stuff. So those parents are also, the opportunity for those parents is to let the kids stay in the country for a year and test out how well he or she is doing.
Yeah.
And then explore maybe studying NCUK Year 2 in business and send the children for the final year only.
Yes.
Because I think one of the discussion amongst those elite business community or business parents, it's to give the quality education and also an experience, because when the young children go, so you're a, what, 19 when you go to university, 18?
Yeah, 18,
And
19.
you spend the most 3 years of your life where you are basically learning where to live, and you are in the UK.
Yeah.
And of course, Pakistan has lots of challenges. And when you have, a comfort life, no issue of electricity and the water, and sometimes people been not telling you the right picture. So that makes, people not come back in the country. So I think this is an opportunity for the business community parents as well, to let your child stay in Pakistan for year one, and then explore and sat with the career advisors with NCUK team to see what's best for the children, either progress year two even in the country, or do the final year in the UK, or complete the entire undergraduate program here and send the children for a master's.
And that's it. It's about, I know I keep saying it, but it's about options. It's about, opportunities.
This second set of parents, their concern is to have a good job for the children, and access to the career, and the better university. So the mindset here in Pakistan amongst these two different communities, there's a third community as well, which now believes degree is not an important part of the journey. The skill is the most important part of it. But Pakistan, still quite a lot of people, I would say majority of the parents, have to have a degree. And even in Pakistan, degree is important. Even if you want to get married, you won't get a girl if you don't have a degree. So a lot of it, it's important from that point of view. So again, the opportunity for a student, just for an audience to clarify, so even if you're exploring to send your child into a very reputed university, and affordability is the concern because they are working parents, the more husband and wife both works and save a lot of money to send the children into best school and then the best university, that's an also opportunity for those children to begin the career here in Pakistan at ICE International Year 1, and then decide in ample time that what country suits them, and then what university would suit, like you highlighted from them. So if we talk about your partner universities, so you said you have 45 universities.
So 45 universities, and those universities, not all of them take all of the same programs. So if we talk about the International Year 1, then it depends on the subject area and the country. So there's probably around 25 different university options, different combinations in different countries, depending on if it's business, if it's engineering, because we also offer engineering, if it's law, if it's business and finance, etc.
Right. Okay.
And within those university groups, we have a mixture of Russell Group institutions, so top institutions in the UK, Australia and New Zealand, but we also have some very career-focused universities which are very useful to the parents that you've just described, those who want to ensure that
employability
a student comes out of university with a job, because ultimately that's what's important. You know? And a lot of those universities also offer internship opportunities, sandwich year programs, an option for students to do some work experience whilst they're studying their undergraduate program.
So IY1, I know you do 1 year at ICE and then 2 years in the UK.
Yeah.
So how many years in Australia?
2. So it's
2 years in Australia.
And 2, yes.
And New Zealand?
Same, 2.
2 years.
Yes.
So it's 1 plus 2.
Yes.
It's not 1 plus 3.
No.
Okay.
No.
So that's again a lot of students in Pakistan, when they go to Australia, they need to do 4 years.
Yeah.
And same as New Zealand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so if you meet the entry criteria of IY1, which is all those students who have done A levels, What is the A levels? How many you're looking for? How many A level subjects you're looking for year one entry criteria?
So for students from A levels to come into, so the entry criteria is 3 A levels.
3 A levels.
Yeah. So
A, B's, and C's between.
So, but yeah.
Yeah.
So C or above.
Yeah.
Yeah.
C or above. Okay.
Yeah.
And so if you have 3 A levels, and then you can get in, and FSA intermediate, there are about 60% overall marks.
Yeah.
Above, and then you need to do an English test with that.
Yeah, so you need to prove that you've got an IELTS equivalent of 5.5 for entry.
Right.
So we can either take an IELTS if you've already got that, or we can also provide a test here at ICE for students as well.
Okay, so that sounds like quite a lot of opportunities for students, and access to one of those reputed universities, which I wish I would have applied and gone. But even then, back then, they were expensive. So
there's some universities at higher cost than others. There are scholarship opportunities for NCUK students as well, and we have an annual list of those scholarship opportunities available to students, published every year on our website. That they range from automatic scholarships for NCUK students of maybe £1,000 or £2,000 each year, to competitive process scholarships as well, where students would need to apply, and based on academic achievement and merit would be awarded a scholarship. So there are options for some of those, well, for all universities really, to get some form of scholarship, but it's unusual to offer full scholarships with UK institutions and Australian and New Zealand. It's not really.
It's not like America.
It's not like America. No.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you visited ICE.
Yes.
Karachi campus. Yeah. What's your thoughts on for students? Does it fit your quality standards?
Absolutely. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. Yes. Yeah. It's a wonderful institution from what I've seen so far. I've met some great students, excellent ambassadors for the college, some wonderful staff. The facility is excellent. Everything so far is what we expect from a partnership. We now just need to work together to ensure that we roll out the programme, and that we ensure that we continually achieve the academic excellence in delivery of that programme, working in partnership with colleagues here at ICE.
Okay, thank you very much for listening to this postcard today. It was an exciting conversation with my colleague Maria. I thoroughly enjoyed it. More importantly, we have been guiding students. I personally been guiding students to explore different opportunities, and don't be demotivated of this negativity around you. And at times we feel down, and we get into a little bubble and box, which basically hide away all the potential strength and talent you have. So my suggestion to all of the students is, go out there, explore the option, ask the question, come to ICE Karachi campus or to Islamabad campus, meet the career advisor, identify your career potential, whether you want to study business, law, or computing, and then meet the related industry people. And if you want to verify information, NCUK team from the UK is there to help you understand the product, that whether it is a genuine qualification, because as I understand in the UK, a lot of institutions have had done some exploratory partnerships in Pakistan, which are not very respectable. So I would not work with any institution personally if I don't think that is going to add any value to our nation in Pakistan. Pakistan is a great country. I am a very patriotic Pakistani. I want my young students to do really, really well, and therefore NCUK is a great opportunity for you to explore and identify which country, which career is best for you. Stay tuned. We'll have a follow-up session and a live session with the students from my colleague Irtaza on the 5th, and we also have a roadshow expo which is on the 4th of December at Pearl Continental Hotel from 10 to 4. So please do visit our PC Expo, where you will be able to meet ICE team, you will be able to meet NCUK, some of the respected university, and you can ask open question. Bring your parents along. I will be there, and I can speak to you if you need any advice from your career choice. So thank you very much. Good luck. Khuda Hafiz.